Alright. Welcome back to more of Ryse, Son of Rome. With, the last stream for this game, we're gonna go into the chapter number 7 here. With the Wrath of Nemesis and the Sword of Damocles. And then it's time to jump back into the year 68 CE, the year that Nero supposedly is to die. And back to Marius confronting him about what him and his family has done, you know, the Roman people, but also to Marius' family himself. But yeah, I've been doing a bit of a reading up on the historical characters because last time I got introduced to quite a few of them. The two sons, Basilius and Commodus of Nero, in this game, apparently. But yeah, it turns out they're both definitely not the sons of the actual historical character Nero. I think Commodus was supposed to live like 100 years later or something. And in fact, Nero actually never had any sons, supposedly. So yeah, that's definitely something they just added. Maybe because Commodus is, I think, also more negative seen. You know, Roman, I guess. So maybe they kind of like wanted to create a relation there, you know, between like awful Roman, leaders. But they're interesting enough, even on the other side with Boudica and her father Oswald. It's kind of like shown like, the King Oswald of Northumbria, but in that case it would actually be 600 years later. Of course, you could make the case and say, yeah, it's just supposed to be, you know, like a king named Oswald, but it's definitely very clear if I wanna, you know, make it about the great King Oswald of Northumbria 600 years later or so. So we definitely have to take a lot of the historical characters and they're standing to each other with a bunch of grain of salt. But yeah, as I said in the beginning of a playthrough, this game is definitely not trying to be like very historically accurate. It's more like trying to give you a feeling for, you know, some of the battles of the time. Like some things certainly, you know, are represented quite well. Like some of the architecture you can see. You know, you also have better formations, of course. And the whole like rebellion against the Romans, you know, that of course is also definitely true. But yeah, when it comes to actual historical characters, we gotta be a bit careful for how much we think, you know, is like inspired by actual historical events. But yeah, so what happened last, of course, is that Marius fought against the barbarians and kind of, you know, got abandoned by his troops, by his commanders. More like, you know, the sons of Nero, supposedly in this game. And he would have basically died if it wasn't for the goddess saving him and giving him the sword of Damocles. And similar to the Damocles story, he's now going back to Rome to, yeah, take revenge on those who betrayed him. People that he thought he would serve. So yeah, let's go back into chapter 7. Oh, gonna continue directly in the campaign.
What swiftly to the underworld. Do not make him suffer any longer. He does not deserve to die. Spare him the pain.
Alright, so we got our first scroll here for Commodus. Octavius, my friend. General Commodus has spread word that he conquered Britannia by crushing the barbarian revolt. He did nothing of the sort. I was there, Octavius, I saw it all. The only good thing Commodus did was get captured by the Britons. That allowed more capable commanders to take control. Among them, of course, was Vitalian, whom secured the safe release of Commodus. But once freed, he went and killed Oswald right in the middle of a peace treaty signing, starting the war off again. The raving idiot. As you can imagine, I'm risking all in telling you this. Tell nobody anything of this. Signed, Marcus Tullius. Bit of a recap on what's happened last time. Hey there, Mr. Goody, welcome in.
I beg you. Punish those Praetorians who hung my brother. I beg you. Take them all, drown them and their loved ones in the Tiber.
I like the soundtrack here. I love all the graffiti you can see of Nero, kind of like mocking him. The crucifixion that he and his sons ordered. You know, being like performed on him. Painting of Medusa.
Praetorians! What's this then? Valiant hero? Battle-scarred veteran of the campaigns?
Drop your swords, or I will kill you.
That's him! Get him! Don't let him talk to you like that! Have him! Go on! Go on! That's it! Teach that little shit a lesson! What the? Is he dead? Is he? Kill that mongrel!
Time to take revenge. Hey there, Goody, welcome in again. Hope you're doing well today. And thanks, yeah, I definitely am. Gonna go and finish Ryse today. Cheers, Goody. It's been a fun playthrough, I have to say. Been good to replay this. But also learning about some of the history and where it's accurate and where it isn't. I have to say the Centurion difficulty was also good because definitely makes it a bit more punishing at least. So I gotta be a tiny bit more careful. I think we're gonna have a pretty battle intensive session today as well. It's gonna be interesting if we can manage to survive all of it. But yeah, the game is pretty short, so definitely possible to even finish it in 2 streams.
Sir! A legionary murdered Atticus and Janus!
Someone's in there.
You two, take a look. Nothing. Get back to your post. Yes, sir.
There's like a huge helmet sticking out. It's like, there's nothing.
I have to stay off the streets if I want to avoid trouble.
Another narrow graffiti. Narrow est eunuchus. Or eunuchus. Probably. It's been a while since I had Latin. Nero est eunuchus. I think, maybe. Would be the pronunciation the way I learned it. Yeah, that's gonna happen soon here.
There's a rogue soldier on the kill, and we're going to find him.
You! Murdering scum! Come on, lads! Drop your weapons!
It's good to see that the more unrest there is in Rome, and the more bad things Nero has done to the Romans, the more I can find this kind of like mocking, antagonistic graffiti. It's a nice detail, I think.
There's the traitor! Oi!
So I should definitely go ahead and actually spend some skip points. So I can't upgrade this, but maybe because only unlocked for New Game Plus, I would imagine. Okay, so everything I wanted to kind of like upgrade, I did. I think XP is really only for multiplayer, so I don't really care about that too much. So we're just gonna go ahead and max out the executions, I think. Especially focus and damage. Let's go for damage first.
There he is! No more murdering for you, you dog! Stand down! Yeah! Stand down or Come on, lad, get him!
Any plans for after Rome? Well, for the Historic Order run, I was planning to do Horrible Histories, Ruthless Romans. It's like an educational, satirical game. However, I'm not too sure yet if we're gonna do it actually, because I could only play it on the Dolphin emulator for Wii, and Wii is, you know, it's kind of like a game designed for the Wii remote controller, so it's very awkward to control. So yeah, we have to think about it. But yeah, for now, just gonna focus on Ryse, and then we're gonna see.
$59!
How many more?
About 100 or so. Up on Via Augusti, someone drew Nero's face on a horse's arse. Not a good idea. Talk about collective punishment. We're burying the whole street.
Gladiator. Freedom. What use is freedom? What men use their freedom to leave a mark in history like we do upon the floor of a Colosseum? We gladiators are known by all, sought out by all, and admired by all. Young boys imitate us with their friends, battling each other with their wooden swords and shields. Rich patrician women fight amongst themselves to sneak us into their beds for the night. Many soldiers yield to our skills and learn by our swords as we are used in training. Rome leaves the brave, the honorable, and we are worthy of our applause in our many great victories upon the floor of the Colosseum. That's one way to look at it. Hello?
Who will help us? There's no clean water, no sanitation, no bedding, and food. What food? I have to beg for it. Are you lost, stranger?
No. I'm home.
Not like you remember it, though, eh? Nothing is in Rome now.
Roman graffitis. The city has lost all hope, only despair nourishes us. Who will deliver us from the dire circumstance? Half the senators have vanished into the night, and the Praetorian thugs through the city, committing the most vile and execrable acts. I pray for revenge. May Nero's body be pierced by 1,000 arrows, slashed by 1,000 swords, and pricked by 1,000 spears. Oh, eternal gods of the dark nights, here I leave my pledge, drowning in my own blood. Allow my vengeance, Nemesis, goddess of vengeance. Allow us, your loyal servants, to fulfill our wishes and destroy our enemy. I will sacrifice of an ox in your honor.
You see, Marius, it's not always in distant lands that our greatest enemies lurk.
Who are you? Why did this happen? My father was a hero of Rome.
Your father was a great general and a popular senator. Too popular, perhaps. The Emperor is a jealous man. A petty man. Your father lived to serve Rome. Emperor Nero serves only himself. He seeks power for the sake of power. He believes himself a god. A cold wind from the north whispered poisonous words in the Emperor's ear. Your father and other like-minded men wanted to return Rome to its people. So the Emperor had them murdered. After all, that is what emperors do. The spoils of his greed were divided between his sons, Basilius and Commodus. He lavished upon them great powers and responsibilities for which they were unworthy. Rome is failing its children, Marius. You are a vital piece in the game of man. And you, like all of us, have a role to play. Damocles, Spirit of vengeance. The fate of the Empire is in your hands. Save Rome. Save Rome from them.
I needed entry to the Emperor's tournament. This could be granted by just one man, so I paid him a visit.
Damocles?
I come for the tournament.
Ah! You're a gladiator. Oh. The mythical armor is... it's a fine touch indeed. You gave me quite the show. Only the most skilled fighters can enter the tournament. Let me see if you fight as well as you dress.
Love the look of the Damocles armor actually. The helmet especially.
3 executions, please! In case you want to know the rules. Backstabbing, cock punching, eye gouging, poison blades! Do them all! I don't care! Kill or be killed. Just make it a spectacle. And please, I beg you... Superb execution.
This is unexpected. I think my brother Commodus may have a contender here. Bravo! This just keeps getting better. Bring on the next act! The champion of the arena, all the way from the Justinius!
You watch yourself. This one is serious.
You, sir, have the potential. You're wonderful. Now let's spice it up a bit. For our next act, we welcome 2 champions, Romulus and Remus, the killers of Carthage. And let's not make it too easy for you, Damocles. Loose the impalers.
fun. Scintillating. Come, meet me in my quarters. You want to fight for your emperor? And you shall.
Hey Firefro, welcome in. Are you entertained? Or are you not entertained? That is the question.
Here is your scroll of entry. Don't lose it. You've transformed killing into an art form. I, however, express myself in different ways. Here is some of my more recent work. I've just completed the final embellishments. It's a gift for my father, the Emperor. It's an amazing piece of work, if I may say so myself. Containing a hidden surprise. A small compartment inside the head that will make it cry the finest white wine to symbolize his great love for the Empire. Though I suppose it could be made to cry anything, really.
Anything?
Blood. So much blood. Grey mountains drag down the Senate. The streets of Rome will run red. Red with blood. I've seen you in my dreams. Cut me loose if you wish to know your future. Fallen hero of Rome. Spirit of vengeance. Damocles. 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 Damocles shall be slain by the great General Ryse. And that general shall be slain by Damocles. But Emperor Nero, he can only die by his own sword. You cannot kill him.
Commodus was next. Here at the Colosseum, he would show all Rome his great victories and claim our deeds as his own. Now I would earn the right to fight him and cut this poison from the heart of Rome. I would have my vengeance.
Okay, I do like the fact that they're actually not showing what he did with the blood. Like, you would expect he would paint it on the head that Basilius worked on. But actually something above his head, I believe. That will be shown not until later. I believe until Nero actually dies.
Can't wait to get out there and fight. You don't have a clue. You'll be slaughtered in the first wave. I've fought in every arena. No man's put me down yet. This is the Colosseum. You aren't meant to fight. You are meant to die.
Damocles!
Give me 1 sec, guys. Alright, sorry, got a bit distracted there. Let's get some health back.
Having conquered the teeming shores of Dover, the vanquishing Commodus brought his fiery might down upon the treacherous fort.
So weiter sind wir Spam. Okay, then. Maybe I could only open one side here.
With righteous fury did the almighty Commodus strike down the Britons for their impudence. Overstained heart, the eternal flame of Rome.
Embrace your death!
It's only begun.
I got some amazing production value for this gladiator event.
Commodus moved through the forests swiftly like a wolf.
Swiftly! Did you hear?
The famed archers of Britain tried to cow great General Commodus.
Oops! Too late!
The forests of Britannia teemed with enemies, and the great General Commodus faced them alone.
Set on it again! You know, if you were smart like me, you'd think about fighting the cause, not the ships. But oh no, you're not, are you? You're just a meat sack waiting to die! You're in! Well done, Damocles. Really well done.
The wicked Britons sent forth their greatest warriors. They thought they could stop the indomitable Commodus. Murderous, feral warriors, the likes of which you have never seen.
Surrender or die.
You will die for that.
Silly me! I misremembered. There were actually many more murderous, feral warriors! You died. Damocles has been brilliant, hasn't he? So brilliant that I want his head. 1,000 denaries to whoever brings it to me. That reward's mine.
Sorry, Damocles. It's 1,000 denarii. I'll make it quick.
I mean, you can't blame them. They're fighting for money and glory.
Vengeful Damocles, emulating the feats of the great general.
Just gonna blame Commodus.
Nonsense! I destroyed the Britons single-handed. You struggle even with all this help. Not bad, gladiator. But don't forget who's the real star of the show. Me! Not some stupid gladiator! Me! Oh, come on, Damocles! Yeah. You're supposed to be emulating my great achievements. How dare you belittle me in front of my adoring minions!
Ladies and gentlemen, the final act approaches. Come aqueduct! What a finale!
It's gonna destroy the aqueduct just because. Der insane production value here, gotta say.
Yeah.
Every nation that dared stand against us! I am the greatest general ever to lead Rome and her people. Today, you have had the honor, yes, the honor of witnessing the slaughter of every gladiator sent in against me. These once great and feared gladiators now lie dead, broken before you, slain by me, your general, your leader, your savior!
Aquilo, I must confess I'm more than a little worried.
Why so, my emperor?
Damocles has been fighting like a lion all day. He still looks alarmingly strong.
Fear not for your son's life, my emperor.
I fear not for that little shit's life, you fool. I fear for my purse. I've wagered a fortune on him to win.
I will shorten the odds. Your purse is safe. Oh. And so is the little shit.
I, Commodus, your general, your savior! Your God!
You say you are protecting Rome. Who will protect you from me?
Hey Valkake, welcome in. It really does. Very beautiful game. Crazy to think it's been over 10 years since the game came out.
Breathe your last breath, you stinking, putrid filth!
Curse you!
Am I not the greatest?
Silence! Come on, Damocles. Take your vengeance.
Over here! I'm Commodus, you fool! I'm Commodus! I'm Commodus!
The show's over for you, Damocles!
That's not fair.
Is it him?
That's actually cool. this actually reveals that that dude is Commodus. Jeez, or as strong as Damocles for? That's not cool. Jesus. Okay, let's focus on one at a time here.
I think not! Try again! Ah, you got me! These wounds, they cannot heal!
How that ever hit me? I have no idea.
Now we get serious.
Okay, that shit's not fair. This game is rigged.
Get him!
Jesus, all of these bot accounts here. Goody, this is Rome. And just Rome kick them off a gladiator arena. Kaka, you mean you would say you win because they got to jump to you to stand a chance? That is true. Does give me a bit of an advantage. Hey there, Code Workman. Another day, another automatic update and broken game uninstall. Really? So which game are we talking about? But that really sucks when you have like updates and just like brings more issues. That's why I'm also very hesitant to update the OBS versions because they tend to break more than fix anything in a stream setup. Baldur's Gate 3? Ah yeah, I heard that they've added some additions for Evo playthroughs in the new update. You lost 40 hours? So your whole save got corrupted? Jesus. That really sucks, Code. Sorry to hear. Yeah, especially in a game that's, you know, that long as well.
Come on, finish him!
Dude, I wasn't quite sure what button they wanted me to press here. I thought I had to press Y, but I guess it was A. Okay. Let's try this again.
Get him! Come on, finish him!
That's what you get for being cocky.
You feel that poison? Can't take any chances, Damocles. You understand. I know I'm immortal, but the plebs can be so fickle. One lucky blow from you and my reputation.
Take your last breath, Commodus.
Damocles! I am vengeance! You are next! Kill it! Kill it!
Not sure if anyone wants to better me after that whole thing.
I've only ever known one man who can fight like that. Let us finish what your father started, Marius. Quickly, we need to get out of here. The Senate is nothing but frightened old men. They no longer listen to truth nor reason. I warned them about Britannia, but to no avail. Commodus has held the legions back, doing nothing
whilst a massive barbarian army has swarmed across the Empire, wreaking havoc as it closes in on Rome.
The Britons?
Yes. And their army has grown tenfold. Everyone who opposes Rome has allied with them. Even tribes from faraway lands have sent them massive beasts of war. The Emperor and Commodus have made enemies. So many enemies. And across the Empire, these barbarians have seen how weakened we have become under Nero's rule. And they mean to destroy us. Destroy the Empire. With Commodus gone, they'll ask me to assume command. And I'll need my best men if we're going to hold Rome. When I suspected it was you in the arena, I readied this.
The Emperor must die.
And he will. But we must save Rome first. I need you now, Marius. Fight for your father. Fight for your legion. Fight for Rome.
Boudica. Once her fate was in my hands. Now, she spearheaded the army of 1,000 tribes. Their giant beasts of war bore down on our gates. The evils of a rotten empire visited upon its capital. We must all answer for our choices, Nero. But it's the people of Rome that now pay for yours. Ah, Boudica. Your fight was not with Rome itself, but with Nero, who had our fathers murdered, and we will be avenged. But if Rome falls, then our world will descend into darkness. Chaos will lay waste to civilization. I will never let that happen.
Steady, Marius. Our city defenses will funnel the bastards down into this one square. They could outnumber us by 1,000 to 1 here, but the confined space will take away that advantage. And, Gods be willing, Rome will see another dawn. Here they come. Hold steady. Hold steady! Fire! Marius, I need you on the Scorpio. Focus on the targets in my order. Follow my lead. Marius, our archers are in position and at your command. Marius! The pitch vats are our last defense. Spare them until the last possible moment.
Volley fire!
Shield infantry! Over there! Archers!
Volley fire!
Marius, you'll find our archers more effective against large groups than individual units. More archers incoming!
Fire your volley!
Targets Marius.
We can't reach that target right now, sir.
Shield infantry!
Did the soundbit actually play? Because I didn't hear anything. I was also kind of focused on the game. Ah. What's up with that? Oh. For some reason, StreamUp was muted.
Gaie! Position gerecht.
There you go. Sorry about that. Ava, Dr. Darling, welcome in. How's it going? The bot scammed you again? Not again. Oh, I guess I did accidentally. How's it going today, Dr. Darling? Hope you're having a nice day so far.
Warriors on the march! Ready! Fire volley!
They're bringing more elephants.
Volley fire!
You must focus your fire on them. If they reach our battle line, the 14th will be lost.
We can't reach that target right now, sir.
Focus on the archers, Marius.
We can't reach that target right now, sir.
Warriors, Marius! Kill them and lift the spirit of our defense!
We can't reach that target right now, sir.
Archers on the far left!
Warriors on the march!
Lars, take them! We've lost our archers. Double your efforts, Marius. You'll need to cover for them. More archers over there. Strike the pitchfans, Marius. Set them on fire. Target their warriors. More elephants!
Keep firing! Keep firing!
Archers, they're on the right. The archers, Marius, before they can take aim. Warriors, incoming! They will smash through our lines! War elephant approaching! Marius! Fire! War elephant Marius! By the gods! There's no end to the filthy bastards. We have to hold them here.
Fire at will!
I'll lead the counter-charge. I need every man we can spare.
No, I will lead the charge.
You'll never make it back.
I can hardly let you have all the glory now, can I?
playing World of Warcraft again, Dr. Darling. Very nice. How's that going? Are you doing, not doing permadeath again, are you?
Sir, the 4th cohort reserve has assembled, but our lines have broken. We have raiding parties operating throughout the city.
Understood.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Would be super frustrating to lose like hours and hours of progress.
Oh, a real soldier to fight.
Centurion! All by his lordship.
Kill him, lads! Fourth cohort?
Yes, sir.
Come on! This way! We need to clear a way through. Battalion is on the other side. You there! Get to work!
Yes, sir. Raiding party!
Don't want to lose 250 to 300 hours of progress again. Yeah, I don't blame you. It'll be very frustrating. I mean, yeah, that's like the idea behind it, but still. After a certain amount of time, you know, it's just... it's a bit ridiculous, like being set back to 0. So my legionaries can protect the left side, leaving you to defend the right one. There's a Scorpio to help you defend the right side. Very strong, supported by archers. Or we can send them to the right side, preventing the barbarians from rushing in. The position cannot receive archer support. Very strong, supported by Scorpio fire. Well, gonna leave them to the left side and we're gonna go to the Scorpio.
Legionaries! Take up a defense point on our left!
And yeah, we're also gonna get support by archers.
Archers! Take the left platform!
Surrender or die!
Fire volley!
Half the wreckage is clear, sir!
Fire volley! Fire volley!
Wreckage is nearly clear!
Fire volley!
Reach our commander! Make your way over, sir!
Clear! Clear, sir!
Good work! You men, secure this area. I will make haste to our commander. Rome shall not fall. Keep moving!
No. Not Battalion.
Marius, son of Rome. Rise. There is still time. Your destiny awaits you.
Look around you. How will I prevent the fall of Rome? All is lost.
Don't waste time pulling off the petals. Cut off the head.
Boudica. Boudica.
General, we can't hold them back for much longer.
Boudica.
Sir? Sir, I don't know for how much longer we can... The gods do not favor us! We must...
Fall back. Flee. Is that what you left your post to tell me? Is that why you left your men? We have been summoned by the gods, and you want to flee? I should kill you myself. You bring dishonor to your men. You bring dishonor to me. You bring dishonor to Rome! I swear to you, Centurion, Rome will not fall. Not today. Today, we fight. Signal whatever's left of the 6th Legion to come about and reinforce the west flank. Pull the 5th out of the old quarter to do the same. I'll find whatever's left of the 14th and take on the enemy in front of the palace.
Go! Understood.
The front line will hold. Even if I have to hold it myself.
This way, General! Boudica's forces have overrun the Forum. What are your orders?
We tear a hole in Boudica's inner guard and eliminate her.
Have you seen them all?
Narrow statue. Fellow artists, I, Apollonio of Thebes, ask for your attention. Basilius has commissioned artwork and sculptures from many of us, but he later claims to be his own work. We can no longer tolerate this abuse. Each artist has his own style. It should be obvious that these were not the work of Basilius, not one of them. If you were to expose this farce, death threats will surely follow. Death threats or no, I have had enough. I can no longer suffer this dreadful situation. Let him send his killers. Basilius, you are nothing but a lying, cheating imposter. May you rot in the gutter, where you truly belong. The irony of him, you know, dying moments after he claimed that one of these statues was the making of his. I would have been legitimately impressed if he managed to, you know, craft anything of the likes, but it was just a massive lie. Yet again.
have siege defenses on the far side. A bolt from the Scorpio would knock over that pat of pitch. Get that gate open! Move up!
You following, sir?
This is Rome! Rome doesn't get invaded by barbarians! Who's responsible for this?
Follow me.
Yes, sir!
Down there! Provide support! There are Pila up ahead, sir! Fire volley! Fire volley!
Get down to their last men, sir!
Fire volley! Fire volley!
Captures are eliminated, sir!
Ready, men! Move out!
It's Boudica, sir! On the war elephant! She's trying to breach the palace defenses!
What artillery do we have?
There's a Scorpio up on the ridge there, sir! War elephant! Watch out! Another war elephant! Here comes one! It's charging!
We meet again, Roman. This time yield or pay the price.
And let you destroy Rome. Never!
We can't both win. And I've come too far to let you stand in my way.
I say yield! Do it now, Boudica!
Marius, son of Rome. We are not much different, you and I. Fate has made us enemies. But in another life.
In another life, perhaps. Not in this one.
No. Not in this one. Do it, Roman. Do it.
Centurion Severus, to me! Display this from the highest place you can find. When the barbarians see it, they'll run. The battle will be ours.
Since you're clearly not here to protect me, what now?
You had my family murdered. You have left Rome in ruins. Everything that has happened, all this needless death, your jealousy, your vanity, and your arrogance has caused it all.
Wait! Have you forgotten the Oracle's prophecy? Emperor Nero can only die by his own sword. You can't kill me. Only I can. You said so yourself. You'll anger the gods. Hand me your dagger, General. Then I can at least die as an emperor. Even if I never lived as one. You said the barbarians have been defeated. So, it's not them pounding up that door. Those are my Praetorians. Guards! Guards! Damocles is here! He's here to kill me! Protect me now!
What a coward.
Marius, my good man. Do you have any idea how much trouble you've caused me? How hard I've worked to tease all these pieces into place. Leontius is dead, my emperor. This is not the time, Boudica. Run.
Why?
It's simple. To destroy Rome and end this foolish notion of civilization.
Marius, watch out!
You mortals play your games. We gods play ours.
But the game has rules.
Oh.
Oh boy. Nero's gonna die, even if it is by his own sword.
In time, Rome healed, and her civilization once more grew and flourished. The city, saved by an unsung hero, would go on to stand for thousands of years. Rome would endure. From then until the last days of man.
And there we go. That was Ryse, son of Rome. It's definitely interesting how it all ended up being just like a fight between gods, you know, them playing with the lives of immortals, making Marius Forza believe that it was actually, you know, Nero behind the attack on, you know, his family. But yeah, Nero himself got also just manipulated by a god, you know. He probably didn't even think that far. But the gods having like a bet against each other or something did. But it's certainly interesting how, you know, Marius really killed Nero with his last breath there, you know. He doesn't care about anything else than vengeance, but that's of course what the god made him do, you know. He didn't really have much of a free will at the end anymore, did he? At least I would say so. But yeah, definitely great game to replay. Really enjoyed, you know, getting to see especially the whole visualization. I think the graphics hold up really well. The combat is definitely fun, though of course it does get repetitive after a while, given how big of a focus it is. Especially the boss fights, it becomes apparent, you know, you can usually only do like one tactic to defeat the enemy. So it does feel a bit scripted at times, but a bit more of a linear experience, you know, can also be quite nice to have, I think. So I didn't mind it. But if you would spend the double the amount of time on the game, I think the combat would really overstay its welcome, for sure. But yeah, that finishes the year 68 or 58 to 68 CE. Because in 68 is when Nero supposedly died to suicide. They never actually showed any years, but I still changed it, kind of like roughly give a bit of a feeling for how many years might have passed. This game was rather short. Yeah, it's more of a 6 to 8 hour experience if you're just like focusing on the main story. If you're doing completionists, then it might take you more like 15. But definitely on the shorter side for sure. Project Kingdom's developer. It's interesting because Project Kingdom was initially the codename, I think, for the game when it was in development still for the Xbox 360. But they couldn't actually meet the release window, so they actually changed to the Xbox One being a launch title and really tried to make it next gen. But I reckon Crytek Budapest have been maybe the main developer on the initial version of the game. Certainly quite interesting. Ryse wasn't built in a day, it was an arduous campaign lasting 7 years, and none of it would have been possible without our loyal friends, family and fans. You honored us all with all your support. 7 years, yeah. Yeah, because initially it was like announced much earlier than E3. Must have been like 2010 or something. When the first version was like announced, so at that point it was already like 4 years in development, I guess. And then we took another 3 to make it for the Xbox One. But yeah, it's crazy that it took 7 years, because you can really tell the level of quality they assured, you know, for every level. But yeah, they took basically a year for every hour of a main story. At the same time, I think it's really impressive with Ubisoft games, for instance, with like, you know, Assassin's Creed games. How much content, but also what level of quality they're bringing out games, you know, in like half the amount of time. If you think about like Origins or Valhalla. Of course, you know, it's like not everything is perfect, but it's still quite impressive. You know, how much, at what kind of like level of quality you have. And the amount of years they worked on it. Actually quite impressive how long the credits are and how many people, you know, ended up working on this. Definitely a true AAA production here. Not quadruple A though. Hey, the Bioshock workman. Good morning. Didn't even get to see the end. Yeah, we just finished it. But it's gonna land later on YouTube. So if you wanna go back and catch up, you'll definitely be able to see it there. Of course, in the recording for this. Ah yeah, interesting. Just had a look for the god that kind of tried to manipulate events against us. And that was Akilo, and he's also the god of wind. Which is why we had kind of like this massive storm coming into our villa when, you know, we kind of like decided to go against abandoning Rome, you know, which is of course what Akilo wanted, since he had a bet with the other goddess. Okay, given that the credits don't seem to end and I can't really see anything online about how long the credits are in total, because sometimes credits can be as long as like 40 minutes or something. And I don't know, I'm gonna actually leave the credits here for now. But I think we paid some justice to most of the people that have worked in this game. But yeah, that is the timeline 100% complete. We finished the beginning, SPQR, Tribe of Fire, the King, Edge of the World, Pax Romana, the Wrath of Nemesis, and the Son of Rome. And that is the entire campaign finished. Once more. Collectible wise, it was alright. I mean, we only missed 4 vistas, so that's actually much better than my first time playing. We missed quite a few chronicles, especially in the Edge of the World and Tribe of Fire. And Scrolls was definitely also much better. We got more than half, just barely. But yeah, what definitely makes it difficult, what I would imagine would make it difficult doing completionist would be that levels will kind of like lock you in. You know, if you kind of like advance a certain checkpoint, then you might not have a chance to go back to explore what you might have missed. And sometimes you have to make like a decision whether you want to go left or right. So going to the quest objective might mean, you know, by accident, you're locking yourself out of getting a collectible. And then you would have to replay the entire level, pretty much, I think. So wrecking completion is definitely more for like doing a replay, you know. And even then you might miss out on something. But yeah, still happy that we got to explore a bit more and get a bit more background information here. Couple more concept arts too. But yeah, that shall be it for our playthrough of Ryse, Son of Rome. Now we're gonna go and exit the game and we're gonna go over to the Historical Research Center one more time for this playthrough. Because now we have officially finished Ryse, Son of Rome. And according, of course, to our historical order list, the next game was planned to be Horrible Histories, Ruthless Romans. A game that I've never played before, but looked quite interesting to me. However, there's some issues with it. One of them is that you can't really play on PC because there's like no, you know, serial number keys anymore. I would have to basically pay for like a physical version, and you know, it might not even come with a serial number. So yeah, I can't play it on PC natively. And even the PC version is, I think, like a Wii port or something. So the other option I had was basically going on Dovin emulator and trying to play the Wii version. But the Wii version has kind of like completely is built around the whole Wii remote mechanic. So like motion capture, basically. You can use your mouse instead, but it is quite awkward. And the whole like movement, like it's kind of like on the arrow cursors, you know, like going left, right and stuff. But then you also have to control the mouse at the same time. So it's like definitely a bit of an awkward position. And yeah, I'm not too sure if I want to actually play the game under those circumstances, I have to say. Either way, we definitely won't be starting that today, so I will have to the weekend to think about it. And maybe give it a bit of a test run to see how it might be in the first level. You know, if it's something that I want to endure with the a bit awkward, you know, controls. But yeah, if not, then the next game as planned would be Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. Which of course is quite the jump. Because there's about 600 years in between. But as I said last time, there's not too many games I'm interested in that actually, you know, play in like the late ancient, early medieval times. It's a very underrepresented setting. The only games that kind of like I would be interested in potentially that kind of go into that setting is 2 Total War games. One of them being set in China, which is Total War 3 Kingdoms, and the other one being Total War Attila. But yeah, I think if I'm gonna play those games then at a later point, because I don't think that I would actually play an entire playthrough of them. For one, they're super long games, and 2, you know, I'm not like very much or so much into strategy games that I would like to dedicate myself so much time to one of those games. And you know, I'm already getting overwhelmed with games like Stronghold sometimes. And that's like much more basic in terms of like how many units you have to control, you know, and how in-depth the whole like battle and siege mechanics are. So yeah, I think at this point it's more likely we're gonna play Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice next, and yeah, play our first game set in medieval times. And then we're gonna spend lots and lots of times in medieval with both Hellblade games, then Assassin's Creed Mirage and Valhalla, then Stronghold 1 and Crusader, then more Assassin's Creed, then Ghost of Tsushima, and yeah, then we're already going closer to the Renaissance era, in the late medieval age here with Plague Tale, Manor Lords, Kingdom Come Deliverance, and the likes. But yeah, we're gonna spend some good time in the medieval times, that's for sure. But yeah, we definitely covered, you know, ancient times quite well with Egypt, the Discovery of Odyssey, now Ryse. But yeah, it would have been nice to have one more with horrible history, so I'm gonna give it one more try and see if it, you know, works better than I think it will on the Wii emulator, and then we're gonna see. But yeah, there's actually been a video that I kind of wanted to watch if History Time would have been redeemed, but hasn't today yet. And that is a video by the Infographics Show. Yeah, it's kind of like an animated one about the Emperor Nero, who's often considered to be one of the most evil emperors ever. And yeah, it's supposed to kind of like showcase why he's perceived that way and what kind of particular actions might have made him been received in that manner. So we're gonna go and showcase that as one last thing for the Historical Research Center for Ryse Son of Rome. So yeah, let's have a look at this.
Fictional evil leaders have been a mainstay of movies, novels, and TV shows. But when it comes to the deeds of real-life leaders, fiction is often no competition for fact. For example, during his reign as leader of the Mongol hordes, it's been speculated that Genghis Khan killed as much as 11% of the world's population. Tamerlane the Great, also known as Timur, would actually build towers out of skulls. And Qin Shi Huang, on his way to becoming the first unified Chinese empire, destroyed every semblance of an education system by burning books and burying scholars alive. But what about the famous Roman Empire? Were there any bad ones? The answer is simply yes. And the one that first comes to mind is Nero, Emperor Nero, a leader who ancient writers and historians claim not only started the Great Fire that destroyed Rome in AD 64, but also fiddled as he watched his city burn to the ground. With this thought in mind, we're going to look at why Emperor Nero is the evil leader in human history. Or was he? Nero was born Lucius Domitius Ahenobarbus on December 15, 37 AD. When he was only 2, his father Gnaeus Domitius Ahenobarbus died of edema and left a huge chunk of his estate to his son. However, the inheritance was taken from him by the Emperor Caligula. Eventually, Nero took the name we all know and love to hate when he reached the tender age of 13. It was at that time that he was adopted by his mother, Agrippina the Younger, and great-uncle the Emperor Claudius, who by that time had succeeded Caligula following his assassination by his guards. Nero's mother Agrippina was described as vicious, violent, and unforgiving. I guess in this case you could say like mother, like son. Agrippina even had her second husband killed. Eventually, Nero would take the reins as emperor at the age of 17 after his great-uncle died unexpectedly. Some historical sources from the time claim that people saw Nero's mother feed her husband poisoned mushrooms, resulting in his sudden death. Despite our perception of Nero today as an evil and hated ruler, during the time of his reign he did in fact hold a strong amount of support from the Roman Empire. He was young, new, and loved music and the arts, traits the general public admired in their leader. Occasionally he was even claimed to be kind. The Roman Empire's historian Suetonius wrote, "He let slip no opportunity for acts of generosity and mercy, or even displaying his affability." After only 2 years of his reign, though, that affability seems to have disappeared, and Nero ordered that his mother be killed. A gradual falling out between the two had begun some time prior, eventually leading Nero to removing her face from Roman coins. By that time, she had lost the respect of Nero's advisors as well. There's multiple contradicting and often fantastical reasons for why Nero ordered his mother killed, but the most common and often agreed upon is that she herself was actually plotting to kill Nero. So Nero said, "Off with her head," so to speak. Nero actually ordered an accidental collision of her boat, hoping she may perish with the sinking ships. Fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, she survived the initial attempt. Finally, he ordered assassins to kill her and make it resemble a suicide. This time, she did not survive. Nero was relieved to find that he was actually congratulated on the death of his mother. Many high-ranking officials surrounding him, along with some of the general public, suspected his life was in danger from her plans to kill him and saw it as a fortuitous event. On June 9th, 53 AD, Nero married Claudia Octavia. Their marriage was not a pleasant one. Octavia was described by the Roman senator and historian Tacitus as an aristocratic and virtuous wife, meaning she had moral standards and wanted to honor her husband. Nero, on the other hand, was quite different. He was immediately bored and angered by his new wife's mindset, as it deviated strongly from what he wanted out of a wife. On occasion, a rage-filled and frustrated Nero would even attempt to strangle Octavia. But perhaps the biggest issue for Nero was that Octavia was unable to bear a child for him. With no child, there would be no heir to his throne. Eventually, Nero began having affairs with different women, one being a freedwoman named Poppaea Sabina. After she became pregnant with Nero's child, Nero decided to divorce his wife for Poppaea. Together, Nero and Poppaea banished Octavia from Nero's empire. However, Nero did not expect the backlash that came from his people. Many Roman citizens very much liked Octavia and protested severely the banishment of her from the empire. They carried statues of her through the city, and the protests were so large that Nero briefly considered remarrying her to calm the people. Nero feared that the only reason the Romans saw him as their leader was his association with Octavia and her connection to past royal families. So after much deliberation, Nero did the next best thing to remarrying his estranged wife. He had her killed. He hoped that this would instill some fear and prove his strong leadership to the people. Octavia was put to death in a traditional Roman suicide ritual on June 8, 62 AD. Only 2 years later, Rome burned. The now infamous incident began on the evening of July 18, 64 AD. The fire ignited on the Aventine Hill, one of the 7 slopes that Rome is built on overlooking the Circus Maximus. The fire burned for nearly 6 days before it could be somewhat controlled, only to reignite once again and burn uncontrolled for another 3 days. Over a total of nearly 9 days, 2/3 of Rome had burned to the ground. Just about 70% of the city was completely destroyed. Homes, temples, markets, all burned to the ground. Nero at the time was not himself actually in Rome. He was at his villa in Antium, which was about 35 miles away from Rome, though he rushed back immediately upon hearing the news. Once back in Rome, Nero immediately opened his palace doors for the now homeless people of Rome and offered shelter and food. He was quick in his desire to begin rebuilding the city, and conveniently a new palace for himself, called the Domus Aurea, which in Latin means Golden House. It was a massive palace complex that would eventually take up nearly 1/3 of Rome. The construction of the new palace is what led to many Roman citizens speculating that Nero had ordered the Great Fire of Rome himself, a devious plan that would allow him to clear the land to build the palace of his dreams, while also allowing him to spin his public image by being the charitable ruler who opened his doors to his people when they needed help. Although he got the palace he wanted, his image was irrevocably tarnished and the rumors spread quickly and escalated. It was at this time that Nero's decline truly began. The rebuilding costs of Rome were high and forced him to devalue the imperial currency by 10%. Revolts in the Roman provinces of Judea and Britain were also escalating. Nero suspected that there were high-level conspiracies originating in the Senate to have him assassinated, which he decided he could only prevent by having them killed first. With unrest growing in Rome, Nero took an extended 15-month trip to Greece. There, his passion for art grew and he gave himself to music, sports, and theatrical performances. When he finally did return back to Rome in 68 AD, he found even more unrest in the city. He had grown more distant from military decisions and completely failed to respond to an urgent revolt in Gaul, as well as growing tensions in Africa and Spain. Finally, at their wits' end, the Senate made a bold move and announced that Nero was an enemy of the people. Soon, everything Nero had done as emperor seemed to finally come to a head, and his world began closing in on him. Many people believed it was him that started the Great Fire of Rome, and he had killed his mother, his first wife, and now new rumors popped up that he had killed his second wife too. Nero attempted to flee the city that by now had completely turned on him. Learning that his arrest and execution were imminent, Nero decided to fall back on his favorite move, killing. This time though, he took his own life on June 9th, 68 AD. He was 30 years old. Immediately following Nero's death, the Roman Empire went through one of its most tumultuous periods. It was pure and total chaos, with multiple emperors taking control and getting killed before they could even do anything. It became known as the Year of Four Emperors. Tacitus described it as a period rich in disasters, even in peace full of horrors. If someone kills their own mother, their first wife, possibly their second and pregnant wife, and maybe even burn down an entire city that they were ruling, you may look at them in a bad light too. It is true that Nero did some pretty bad things, but as time has moved far away from these events and historians have continued to study the rise and fall of the Roman Empire, and even more specifically the rise and fall of Nero, many have found that he may have been more misunderstood than downright evil. And maybe, just maybe, history should have painted him in a different light. Let's first start with the famous image of Nero fiddling as Rome burned. First of all, the year was 64 AD, and the vile family of instruments, which includes fiddles, was not even invented until sometime around the 11th century. So there's zero chance that he could have been fiddling at the time. Second, as we talked about earlier, Nero wasn't even in Rome when it began burning. He was 35 miles away in his villa. Is it possible that Nero did order the burning of Rome even though he wasn't there, and most likely not playing an instrument when it happened? Yes, that's possible, but there's still no concrete evidence to date to support it, and it seems more likely that the whole story is folklore created after the events took place. But what about the terrible acts he committed as a ruler? The murders, the scheming, and plots? Again, some of them probably yes, but as more and more historical data is uncovered, we're finding that Nero was actually liked by many of his people at the time. It's clear that he was always more interested in the arts than actually governing, and certainly less interested in dealing with the military. Because of this, he did not have the advantage of military victories and the fame, success, and adoration that came along with being a military hero that many other emperors and leaders of Rome have had, which probably meant that many elite Romans in the Senate hated Nero, while the citizens celebrated his devotion to local issues. Historian Rebecca Benefiel said, if it had been up to him, he probably wouldn't have chosen to be emperor at all. We have to remember that he was adopted into this position and ultimately groomed to become an emperor. Given the choice, he may have chosen the life of an actor or a musician rather than be the leader of the world's largest empire. This is even reinforced by his dying words as he took his own life. "Oh, what an artist dies with me." Ultimately, Nero's reign was a confusing one with all sorts of ups and downs, and judging it is rather hard. He most certainly earned his reputation as a paranoid, murderous ruler. Also probably deserves some revaluation by historians to see really what happened while he was in power. Was Nero the hated, violent, and power-hungry leader we were told? Or was his a misunderstood, misplaced, and art-loving leader that the common people loved? Only further study and time will tell on this one. What do you think the truth is about Nero? Tell us in the comments. Also, be sure to check out our other video, The Horrible Life of an Average Roman Empire Slave. Thanks for watching, and as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you next time. Do you love strange, unexpected stories that defy belief but are completely true? Then you'll love the new show I Am. Fascinating tales told from the perspective of those who lived them. Find out what it was like to be a plague doctor during an outbreak of the Black Death, or the captain of the Titanic as it sunk into the sea. Each episode, you'll jump inside the mind of a new person to get a first-person view on incredible events like no other. New episodes every week. Be one of the first to subscribe now and tell us who you want to see brought to life in I Am.
That actually sounds pretty cool. I would definitely check that out. I think a pretty cool video. I like the visualization and animation, and I also like how they try to definitely paint a picture of Nero that's, you know, maybe not quite as negative as he's often perceived. Because, yeah, I think, you know, there's definitely lots of power to have in painting the picture of a person after they've died. And there's definitely many reasons for, you know, disliking him, I guess, but it isn't the first time that we read that basically he didn't have the high standing in the elites of Rome, given, you know, that he was focusing so much on like events and festivals and culture and art. And even himself participated in them sometimes, which many thought was below him. And that also added to his bad standing and bad reputation, I think, in, you know, kind of like the social circles that actually had something to say, I guess, you know. But the common people, of course, didn't have much, you know, impact on what might have been written down, you know, or what might have, you know, yeah, been like translated through history. So it is quite interesting. But it doesn't change the fact that, you know, he probably committed many murders against his close relations. That is very likely. There's even a bust of Nero as a pharaoh. Huh. Interesting. But yeah, so much to the history behind Ryse, Son of Rome. That is gonna be everything I will be covering for the game for now. And this is also gonna be where we will end the stream for now as well. I would like to thank you all so much for coming by and for joining me for the playthrough. I definitely enjoyed it very much, also playing it on the harder difficulty. And yeah, I'm gonna take the weekend to think about what historical game we're gonna be in fact playing next. Still got the choice between Horrible Histories, Total War, or jumping directly to Hellblade. So I will make the decision then. But yeah, we won't be starting another historical game today, though. I would like to take a bit more time to get started on the next one. But yeah, thank you all so much for being here and for watching this stream. There might be another one, who knows, but for now this is gonna be where we will call it for today. And we are going to go and raid over to our good friend Rod, because Rod has started his playthrough of Watch Dogs 1. He's doing a music focus playthrough, so having like all the voices and all the sounds turned off, I think, and focusing on highlighting the musical pieces in the game. I love the soundtrack for Watch Dogs, so that's gonna be a good one, I think. Stream over for today. Well, the stream is over for this game, but who knows, I might come back with something different. Maybe later today, maybe in a bit. I guess keep your eyes open and you might be surprised, or not. But yeah, for Ryse, this is gonna be it. And I would definitely take a break for now. But yeah, thanks for being here, Dr. Darling. Definitely catch you next time. Hey Valeo, welcome in as well. Thank you so much. I hope you also have a great weekend. Hope everything is going well for you. Midnight stream, you knew it? Maybe. Only one way to find out. Once your stream streak is broken next time. Maybe some disco Bioshock. Thanks also for being here, Bioshock. Hope you have a good rest of your morning and day, of course. If you want to join us for the raid over to Rod, here's some raid emotes. Feel free to copy and paste them. And yeah, I will catch you all next time. Until then, take care and have a good one.